The December astrology brings many ups and downs throughout the month, but we will end on a high note with a grand finale at the end of the year, bringing epic celebrations and the incoming age of enlightenment that will last for 14 years. So stay tuned until the end so you can hear the completion of what the end of 2024 is to bring, so you can really prepare. I am Tammy Antoinette at thestarqueen.com. I am a sidereal astrologer. I practice astrology as it was in ancient Babylon, ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Akkad, ancient Sumer, Egypt, and Greece. And if you would like to know more about the type of astrology I practice, I invite you to see my videos calling astrology back into its rightful dignity, and the video, Why Do I Practice Sidereal Astrology? So before we begin, I invite you to click the subscribe button below so you can see these predictions coming in real time and you can be alerted to them, and also to subscribe to my blog at thestarqueen.com/blog, and you will be the first to know about the predictions and how to work with them. You'll receive this directly into your inbox. So we begin December with with Venus going into Libra. So Venus was debilitated for about the past month in her in the sign of Virgo, which is her place of debilitation. And now she's entered her place of dignity, high dignity in Libra as of November 30th. So we can begin to experience more love, peace, and harmony. These are going to be much more available to us now throughout this month and all until December 26th. So she will stay here in a harmonious trine to Saturn and in an opposition to Jupiter until then. And we get to experience more stability with softened, heart-centered energies, romance, and peace, inspired by brilliant morning star Venus. Saturn's influence of discernment, responsibility, and integrity should help to keep us from the overindulgence into the desires and immortality that a Venus opposed Jupiter aspect can influence. So we have a lot of help here from the heavier planets as well. And we now have good positions for both Saturn and Jupiter for improving situations with which we have been waiting patiently to see justice and restoration of balance all over the planet, and in our own lives, we can experience all of these energies. And we will see these developments continue to rebalance throughout January. You can look back at the prediction in November that I spoke into about from where Saturn turned direct to bring karmic justice. So that post is titled Saturn Turns Direct to Bring Karmic Justice, and that was in November. You can see that on my blog, or you can search the video here. And now we can experience even more of this forward momentum from this turn of events. So we'll see more justice, more truth coming to light. And we are now under the influence of a very powerful Mars in Scorpio cycle, which began after the first appearance of the November lunar crescent. And it will influence us for 2 years. The beginning always shows the whole, and God Nirgal is the deity that is the invisible Mars who rules the underworld. He rules Scorpio, secrets, sex, transformation, death, and the mysteries of hidden and occult knowledge. He's still invisible, and I spoke into this in earlier videos. So his influence can be felt as more passive aggressive and underhanded, but very, very strong in Scorpio. This is his home sign. He gains a lot of strength in Scorpio. And he will be aspecting very powerful stars of transformative healing, plant medicines, poisons, and leaders of warriors. If you're experiencing the destructive influences of Mars during this time, I recommend purposefully working with the more constructive influences of Mars, and then you'll see more balance be restored as you gain more of his empowering virtues. So whenever you take right action with a warrior spirit, you will be highly rewarded with empowerment and with new beginnings, especially right now. This is a very powerful cycle for those who are especially ruled by Mars, especially if you were born with the stars of Aries or Scorpio rising on your ascendant, or with the moon in those positions, or just if Mars was really powerful in the sky when you were born, so your almutin is Mars. In my incoming prediction for 2024, I will give more of what to expect for Mars next year when he appears bright again after his invisibility period. But for now, I suggest you remember that when there is only one person in a community, a family, a tribe, or even in the world who disciplines himself to pray for peace, it affects the entire population. So remember how powerful each and every one of us are. We're well under the influence of the lunar phase of the lunar nodes in Pisces and Virgo for the next year and a half. So these are the points of the eclipses that just happened recently, and it is still shifting the world into different plans and goals that are more empathic and spiritual. And you can look back at the videos about the eclipses that I spoke into in October and November to see more about that and what we're going to keep experiencing and what will continue to develop from those occurrences. On December 2nd, the sun conjuncts the fixed star Antares, which is one of the 4 royal stars of ancient Persia. Those who were born with the stars of Leo rising will have a much more powerful time and greater abilities to overcome difficulties and for greater success. So this is an empowerment of the star of Antares, which is a star of great generals, great warriors, and the empowerment of the sun, right? The sun rules the constellation of Leo. So those who hold these positions are always more powerful on this day and even the day before and after, the 1st through the 3rd, but especially on the 2nd. Leaders of soldiers are often born on this day also. You can guarantee that. Also on December 2nd, Mercury will sextile Saturn, which can slow down, inhibit, or challenge negotiations, travel, and sales. So those who were born with Gemini or Virgo rising or moon can experience challenges or changes with communication and with travel. We can experience more reality-inducing events and even pessimism. So this is just to so that we can stop and check in and rethink things and make sure everything's aligned. So there may be blockages coming up if something's out of alignment. December 1st through 3rd, the Cancer moon is trine the sun, which is a very harmonious aspect for the home, for the family, between the heart and the mind, and between our mission and purpose and what makes us happy on the inside. So this is going to help to balance this Mercury-Saturn aspect that I just spoke of and the heavy Mars influence. December 6th, Mercury will trine Jupiter. So this is another harmonious aspect. And those people and endeavors who are ruled by Mercury and Jupiter will have very positive events occur. This is really good timing for intellectual endeavors, projects, travel, negotiations, business, medical procedures, teaching. And December 8th, Mars will conjunct Antares. So the sun just it always conjuncts that star on December 2nd, like I spoke of. And on the 8th, Mars will follow closely behind to conjunct Antares, influencing a very powerful time for success and increased activity for Martian topics and Martian people. But it can be a very destructive day for those not ruled by Mars. So when I speak of Martian topics and Martian people, I speak of men and those who have a warrior spirit, those who are in positions of leading armies and in the police and business, in ancient times, and now Mars always rules businessmen. So this can be an important time for those more masculine business, like strong entrepreneurial leadership projects. December 12th, Mercury is stationing to be retrograde and invisible in the early evening sky at 13 degrees Sagittarius. So it begins that all is not as it seems. Mercury is going retrograde and into the underworld. So we want to be sure to make extra time and space for travel, communication, to back up technical devices. Important details can be misinterpreted or even completely missed. So be sure to double check over all technicalities, cross your T's, dot your I's, that sort of thing. And the moon will also go invisible at that time and be debilitated in Scorpio. The moon is very sensitive in Scorpio. So this will be from November 12 to 14. And the moon will also be afflicted because Mars will be there. So make sure you make time and space during these days to rest more and to really honor your sensitivities. Don't begin anything new until you see that first lunar crescent appear after sunset on December 14th. So during the dark moon time is the best time for completion, reflection, meditation, rest. Make time for extra care with your health maintenance and with cleansing your body, cleansing your environment, do your parasite cleanses during these days. And then the new lunar cycle begins whenever we see the first lunar crescent appear in Sagittarius above the western horizon after sunset on December 14th. So Venus will be conjunct the fixed star Gamma of the Corona Borealis, the northern crown. So this moon cycle will give success for artists. I'm sorry, not Venus. Venus won't be conjunct. I'm speaking about the moon, excuse me. The moon will be conjunct the fixed star Gamma of the Corona Borealis and the northern crown. So this moon cycle will give success for artists, love, and new beginnings that are related to these parts of our lives and to these people and to these projects and endeavors. And it can begin a really good cycle for traveling, especially when the moon speaks in a harmonious trine to Mercury on December 22nd to 23rd. So December 22nd, Mercury will conjunct the sun in the galactic center at 5 degrees Sagittarius. This is a day for positive and enlightening experiences for those who are ruled by Mercury, such as those who were born when the stars of Gemini or the stars of Virgo were rising on the eastern horizon. and those who just have a really powerful Mercury in the sky when they were born. And the sun and Mercury with the galactic center, however, can also give unexpected destructive influences. So make sure you are extra careful while you are traveling, and say extra prayers for yourself and for your loved ones. This is the perfect timing for creative and therapeutic writing, visioning, and for gaining deeper insight and understanding. And then, so these will be the influences through Christmas. So we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful Christmas, good aspects for that, harmonious aspects. And then December 26th, Venus enters another placement of debilitation in Scorpio, while Mars and Mercury begin a transition from water to fire. So this is all during the full moon of December 26th. So this would be a good time on December 26th to kind of lay low and don't start anything new at this time. But so women in particular, and those who are ruled by Venus, will need to be extra careful. So those who are ruled by Venus would be those who have a sidereal constellation of Libra or Taurus rising at the moment of their birth, or if they were born with the moon in those placements, or if Venus was a very strong planet, strongest planet in the sky at the moment of your birth, and then she would be your Amutan. Yeah, those who are involved in in the beauty industry, the artist industry. So just be extra careful during this time. Don't start anything new. This does begin really good timing to do your deep shadow work, to confront these parts of yourself that can come up, so you can address them and you can heal what needs to be healed, because it can come up more starting at this time. Intentional plant medicine therapy and other types of intentionally transformative healing can be really helpful during this time, because the stars of healing are in Scorpio. Be mindful to create more harmony, more balance, and more diplomacy, especially on this day. And Venus will travel through this debilitation of Scorpio until January 19th. So we'll be feeling this energy throughout that time. December 27th, Mercury will conjunct Mars, which can be a dangerous day for travel, for communication, a prominent time for possible attacks, conflict, and accidents. So try not to travel this day if you don't have to, and be sure to speak extra powerful prayers over those you love, your environment, for yourself. And this is especially for those ruled by Mercury and ruled by Mars, like I spoke of earlier. December 27 to 28, Mercury and Mars will square Neptune in the sky, which will be the second of 3 squares. Since he's going retrograde, he is scrubbing this spot in the sky back and forth from our perspective. So this can create conflict between the mind, our compulsions, and the higher heart. It can amplify illusions. It can cast clouds of confusion, especially if we are out of balance or under any spell of toxicity. If there's any toxicity in your environment, in your body, and your relationships, you will see this right now at this time during December 27th and 28th. Mercury and Mars square Neptune can cause confusion, disorientation, misinformation, deception, scheming. So be very clear and concise, because this can come unintentionally from you or from others. So it's not always intentional, but this is just the influence. And so just be very clear and concise and try not to make snap judgments. Be sure you seek trusted or professional advice and take time and consideration of the small details if you're signing any contracts or dealing with any legal matters. It is easy during this time to fall down rabbit holes of misinformation while doing research, and we can be extra sensitive to any drugs, alcohol, or other altering substances. So the best way to use this influence would be meditation, visioning a beautiful future, creative writing, journaling, listening to beautiful music, and watching movies. So the epic new year that's coming in, finally, January 1st, Jupiter turns direct. So we will be experiencing an abundance of positivity, gratitude, optimism, joyfulness, just in time for the New Year's celebrations when Jupiter is very strong in the sky. So Jupiter will start giving this influence for Christmas, as this buildup of energy will begin December 23rd, but it will have that peak January 1st as the sun in Sagittarius trine the moon in Leo creates a grand fire trine, a beautiful triangle through all 3 fire signs with Jupiter in Aries. So this will literally be one of the greatest, most epic New Year's Eve celebrations, probably in 20 years. So there is no need to overindulge, as this energy will be epic and joyful all on its own. So I hope you take advantage of that beautiful energy and surround yourself with those you love to share it with. And then the age of enlightenment begins. So we are entering a new age of inventions and enlightenment. Over the next 14 years, we will feel this shift begin December 6th, when Neptune stations to go direct, and will strengthen this energy on December 13th when he picks up momentum. But his grand entrance into this realm of enlightenment and inventions of Pisces, of more exquisite developments, officially begins January 4th, at the same time as the new phase of Jupiter's forward momentum. So this can give very positive developments for everyone for the next 14 years. And of course, depending on where Pisces is in your personal birth chart, we will begin another golden age for everyone, for the planet, of art and of beauty, with influences of higher spirituality, compassion, more help for the poor, the weak, and the helpless will be available, because social reforms will begin from a place of the higher heart. And so suffering will be alleviated for those who need it most. So this is beautiful to look forward to. The last time that Neptune traveled through Pisces was in 1859 through 1871. And what this brought us, what this helped to influence, was the American Civil Wars against slavery. The planet experienced more unconditional love, more high forms of art, such as Monet, and new social uprising from the problems that the innocent and the helpless were suffering from. So this was the time of what the historians named the Age of Enlightenment. The astrologers didn't even name it this, the historians did, but it just happened to fall into this this time frame. The previous time Neptune was in Pisces, before that, that was he entered there in 1694, and that time brought us the invention of the steam engine, So this should be a beautiful time. I'm really looking forward to the next 14 years. And even though there may be ups and downs throughout December, such as life, the new year will begin on a beautiful upright note so we can embody a higher position for the great changes that will be incoming 2024. So stay tuned in and on the lookout for my 2024 prediction for next year. Hit the subscribe button. Go to my blog, thestarqueen.com/blog. Subscribe there, and you'll get this directly into your email inbox so that you can really know how to work with the energies and really stay tuned in to what's going on so that you can keep this high note for yourself and for your loved ones. So what are you celebrating this month so that you begin again from the most beautiful position in the new year? Leave me a comment below or send me a private message. I love hearing from you. I wish you much love, joy, and gratitude, and a beautiful holiday season. Merry Christmas, happy solstice, and New Year.